No CarPlay? No problem. I got a few options for you, but they come with repercussions. Let me show you why. Here's what you guys probably have. You either have a phone mount here, or you have another phone mount that's a CD disc that probably has it like this. The way it mounts, it's all damaging your car. And the only other way to really have CarPlay in your car is either by changing out this head unit, but that requires splicing, cutting up some factory wires, which realistically, you don't want that in your car. What if there's a way to avoid all those problems and those permanent damages you're doing to your car? Let me show you how. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and remove the shift knob. Just turn it counterclockwise. Very, very easy. Next, let's remove this silver lining piece here. Open the glove box, pull this straight out towards me. Next, we'll remove this plastic panel here, right above the CD changer and below the climate control panel. Next, we'll remove these leather sides here, pull out straight out, and this one has a little piece here that you can just pull straight out. Use a tool to assist if it's too strong. And next, let's go ahead and remove this whole entire piece here. So just grab a hold of this and just be careful when you're pulling this up. It is pretty sharp. Okay, this is a pro tip, guys. If you guys want to remove all of these, you're gonna have to push both of these in and pull it out. You're gonna do the same thing for this one and this one. This one's probably gonna be the hardest one, okay? You can use that clip removal tool, something like this, because that's what these two are for. Sweet. After that, remove all the connectors and put this aside for now. Next, let's go ahead and remove this climate control panel. Just go ahead and pull it out straight towards you with your hands back here and remove the factory connector right behind. Next, grab a 10mm socket and ratchet, and we're gonna be removing 4 10mm bolts. Now, while this is in the way, just be careful when you're pulling this radio out. You don't pull it out too hard or anything. It's to damage the wiring harnesses behind the factory radio, as well as scratching up your interior piece here, okay? Let's go ahead and pull this out. Pull it out straight towards you. All right, guys, pay attention. This next part is crucial. All right, so tuck the wiring harness that we just removed, all this under here. Grab your thick blanket towel and pull the radio straight out towards you like we just did. And if we take a look up top here, I'm just gonna go ahead and unplug everything so that way we have a lot more space, because having the radio here is still not enough space. And make sure when you're doing this, you plug back in every single one. Otherwise, you're gonna have an error message. You're gonna have to dive back in once everything's all tucked away and find out which connector you did not plug in. And put the radio somewhere safe. Quick tip to remove the vents is just grab the vents themselves and just go ahead and pull them straight out towards you, okay? Gonna be a connector back here. All right, listen up to this next step, guys. It's very, very important. Next, we are gonna be removing these clips here. So there's one here and there's another one here. While you're gonna be pulling up on the plastic panel to remove the screen, you're gonna need to push up this clip here. All right, and just like that, we have them both off. Okay, and pull this straight up and it'll pop off just like that. So grab a socket ratchet and remove the 2 10mm bolts, holding in the screen. Next, let's go ahead and pull out the factory display screen. Just go ahead and pull it out straight towards you. There's 2 connections back here. This blue GVIF cable, I'm gonna release that, and this black connector here, I'm gonna release that. So inside our plug and play S-Connect kit, you're gonna have these 2 blue cables here. One's gonna connect to the factory display screen, which is this one here, and this one's gonna connect to the factory blue GVIF cable that we just removed. So let's go ahead and connect these 2 together. Make sure they click in, otherwise you may have some issues with your video, okay? So push it all the way in, hear the click. And you're gonna route this blue cable straight down toward this area here. We'll do the same thing with this one here, okay? And we'll plug this GVIF in cable into the back of the radio here. And we'll plug this right back into the factory display screen here. Next, let's go ahead and put back on the 2 10mm bolts that we just removed. Next, let's grab our main wiring harness here from the S-Connect kit, which will look very, very similar to the factory one. And what's very important, okay, listen up, otherwise you may have some issues, is that there are these 2 red GS cam wire cables here, okay? They're labeled GS. Make sure that these 2 are connected to this orange and white cable. Now, this is already pre-configured for you prior to shipping, so once you already receive your kit, if you select the correct vehicle, which is this 2014 to 2017 Lexus CT200, then we will already have done this for you. But this is very, very important to double check our work as well, okay? Otherwise, you may have some factory functions that won't work. So let's go ahead and plug this end in, and make sure when you guys do, listen up, all right? This is very, very important. When you guys do this, make sure that these pins go in straight, okay? You don't connect these 2 at like an angle or something, because if there are any bent pins, this will cause issues on your factory system. So let's go ahead and carefully maneuver these in, push down this clip here, and that locks it in. Next, we have our dip switch module here that we're gonna connect next. And for this Lexus CT with factory navigation, the correct dip switch settings are 1 down, 5 down, and 8 down. Once again, this is already pre-configured for you prior to shipping, so make sure this is the dip switch settings you have received in your kit, otherwise there may be some issues. Let's grab our 2 blue GVIF cables and I'll show you guys how to connect these. If you're holding it like this, GVIF out goes actually on the inside here, and GVIF in will go to the side here. Make sure you guys keep your wires organized, and this will plug in right here like so, okay? Make sure that the release tab is up top. You don't want to push this in upside down, otherwise you might short something. Grab our HDMI cable, and the 90-degree angle, we do usually like to keep it on the dip switch module, because this one does handle all the video. And you see how this is kind of coming down here? So the way I'm going to route these, kind of go around it, so that way it's all nicely organized. And from here, this will go straight down, okay? So our kit also comes with a wireless antenna. I'm just gonna go ahead and slip it in here. And that way it kind of just mounts here. And we're gonna peel off the double-sided sticky tape and just stick it to the side of this plastic panel here. Okay, so after you've done that, we just have our few connections left that goes to the NV17 module. So with the wireless antenna, we'll just screw this on here. And then our kit also comes with an external USB drive. And next to this USB port actually goes the microphone in cable. If you're ever confused, that's all label right here. And make sure that this microphone in does not connect to line out. Very, very important. Otherwise, your phone calls and your Siri and everything won't work. And we have the red NV17 power cable here and the HDMI cable. Listen up, make sure you do not block these vent holes, okay? Very, very important. The foam tape that we include, don't block it like this. Just wrap it around the modules like this, okay? Make sure you don't block the vent holes. Very, very important. All right, and just go ahead and tuck in everything. And the wireless module will actually go right on top of the dip switch module. And with this USB port, just go ahead and route it underneath all the wires here. And it's actually going to be poking out right underneath here, okay? Okay, and with the wire mesh that we have here now, I'm going to go ahead and clean everything up. Make sure you do that yourself as well. Zip tie it, clean it up, and we'll reverse what everything we just did. All right, guys, and I know it's a pain in the ass and we cut the video, but it's very, very hard to kind of plug in all the radio connections and kind of show you guys. So that's the whole reason why we cut the video. Just do your best, because the connectors for example, the small 1-pin connectors don't really go that far, and it's very, very hard to kind of show you guys and reach my hand back there and install it all at the same time, okay? But just do your best and make sure everything, and I mean everything, is plugged back in, okay? All right, so I just finished the radio connections. We're gonna go ahead and scoot this back in, and let's go ahead and screw back in the 410 millimeters. Next, let's put back on this cover here, match the clips. Next, let's put back the vents. You have this one connector here, and carefully slide in the vent. We have the big old panel here, but go ahead and re-plug in everything in. Make sure every single connector is plugged back in, okay? Don't miss a single one. Everything's in. Let's go ahead and align this back inward. Okay, we'll maneuver this in, and see how there's a hook thing here? You gotta make sure that goes in first, and then that way everything all aligns. Very gently, very nice, very demure. Ask your kids about it. They probably know what demure means. Next, we'll put back in the climate control panel here. We'll put back the silver trim piece here. And we have the 2 boomerang sticks. And next, we'll grab the plastic panel underneath the climate control. Last but not least, we have the Prindle knob. Alright guys, and now that we've turned on the car, we're on the factory main menu here. We're going to first connect our phone to the factory Lexus Bluetooth system here. So I'm gonna hit add, go on my phone and into the phone icon here, and Bluetooth, I'm going to connect to the Lexus CT, allow, perfect. And this will be the method of audio output that our system uses. So it's always gonna be on Bluetooth audio source. Make sure it's never on radio or anything else other than Bluetooth audio source, okay? And now that we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and maximize the volume on my phone as well. So make sure that this is maximized with these side buttons here. Okay. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and hold down the home button here. And on my phone, I'm going to go into my settings, general, and then CarPlay, and on the bottom there's going to be an NV17W. Make sure you always connect from settings general CarPlay and not Bluetooth or any other method. It's always settings general CarPlay and tap on the NV17W to connect. All right, this is what it looks like once we've connected, and you have all your CarPlay applicable apps here. Go to your Spotify, for example, and you have normal CarPlay in your vehicle now. The skip button works, the reverse seat button works, the pickup and hang up button also work, volume button also works, and volume decrease also works. And when you're changing volume on CarPlay, unfortunately you won't be able to see the factory Lexus volume number you're at, but you'll still hear the changes in the volume adjustment you're making. In addition to also these functions here on this joystick, if you take a look down here, this up arrow actually skips tracks and this down arrow goes back. So this also changes functions now too. And if you press the menu button down here, this will summon Siri. Hey, what's the weather? Perfect. And I'm kind of hard of hearing Siri a little, so I'm gonna increase the volume a little bit on the factory volume, and I'm gonna push and hold the power button on the side of my phone and increase this to maximum. Okay, like so.
Sorry, I don't understand.
All right, you can't understand me, that's fine. So I'm gonna push the menu button again. What's the weather?
It's currently clear and 70 degrees.
Yep, that sounds a whole lot better now. And if we push the vehicle into reverse while on CarPlay, so the factory backup camera works and displays, and if we put it into park, it jumps right back immediately to the CarPlay screen. And that's it, guys. I just showed you how easy it was. It's all seamless, everything's all nice and back into the factory system as it should. And instead of having your phone on this crazy mount that might damage, oh look, it's not even sticking right now and it's supposed to be magnetic. See, instead of having something that doesn't work or sometimes work, why not just install our seamless kit? Everything works as it should, 100% of the time, as it's backed by Lexus USA. If you guys don't even have CarPlay in your car, what are you guys doing? Let us know in the comments down below. See you guys next time.